Before I even begin, you're not shy with your opinions, but I'm sure a lot of boxing fans right now, the purists, are like, oh, you're having Jake Paul, you're lending legitimacy to what's going on. And let me say, I want to say something about that, and then I want to talk to you about it. Number one, people are interested in you. You have a character that people are interested in. That means I expect people to watch this because you're on. And number two, that would not be enough for me if you didn't take it seriously. But what I respect about what you're doing is you are responsible only for yourself. And you seem to me to be taking the craft of boxing, though you're a novice, seriously. You show up in shape, you show up apparently trained seriously, and you fight as hard as you can. And so I respect that. And so I think that for that reason, I want to talk to you. How do you feel about people questioning your legitimacy as a fighter?
I think I've proven myself at this point. When I knocked out Nate Robinson, he was a real athlete, and everyone was betting on him to beat me. And then I go up against an Olympic athlete in Ben Askren, and this guy is a fighter. They call him an MMA fighter. He's a two-time NCAA Division I champion, and I'm an actor, YouTuber who transitioned into fighting. But I understand why people are mad. But the legends, the OGs, like Mike Tyson, for example, are saying that what I'm doing for the sport is the best thing that's happened to boxing in years. That's what Mike Tyson said. Oscar De La Hoya comes into my locker room right before the fight. He goes, "I love what you're doing for the sport of boxing. Keep it up." And so some people are mad, but I think the other people that are on my side, they understand what I'm doing. And again, like you said, I'm dedicating my whole entire life to this, training 10, 12 hours a day, stretching, sprinting, boxing, jogging, running up hills, chasing alligators. I'm doing it. I'm doing it all.
You mentioned Mike Tyson and Oscar De La Hoya saying you're good for boxing. I would also encourage boxing fans. I agree. I think anyone who can get people interested in combat sports, that's a good thing, and the boxing establishment should embrace that. In your case, that hasn't exactly happened with a lot of people. I've even heard people, online questioning the legitimacy of the Askren knockout. Now, to my eye, you hit him with a one-hitter quitter, flew his head, and knocked him out. Why do you think people, because he was smiling afterwards, and they said, oh, he threw the fight, or he went, why do you think people are saying that?
Just because of the way it happened. I mean, I'm embarrassed for him. That was awful. He came in unprepared, and I said it in the weigh-ins the day before. I said, you, my friend, are underestimating me. And it was very, very unprofessional the way he came in. And, what people won't give me credit for is my power. And I have a lot of knockout power. I mean, we saw what happened to Nate. We saw what happened to in my first professional fight. All of these fights are basically one round. I've been in there three times, and it's been a total of like 6 minutes. So I do have power, and he just couldn't handle it. And people are going to say whatever they want to say about Jake Paul. There's always something that they have to say or some excuse that they're going to have to make.
I'd like to know what your goals are in the fight game.
Yeah, I have a couple of goals. First and foremost is to have fun. I'm doing this for me, and I'm doing it because my whole life has been a fight. I've had to fight for everything I've ever had, and I love the sport of boxing. I love this sport. It means a lot to me, and it saved me from a path of self-destruction, being in Hollywood or surrounded by a bunch of bad people. Boxing quite literally saved my life. So first and foremost, I'm doing this to be happy and have fun, but I want to prove to people I'm a real fighter and have hard fights. I want to continue to challenge myself, and that's what I've done every single time. When I beat the YouTuber, that clip that we're watching right now, people were like, fight a real athlete. Okay, I fight a real athlete in Nate Robinson. Beat him. Oh, he was just a basketball player. Fight a real fighter. Okay, so then I get an Olympic athlete who's a real fighter and knock him out. So now I'm going to continue to challenge myself and continue to raise the bar. I want to fight real boxers. I want to fight real MMA fighters. This all started, with calling out McGregor and the goal to fight McGregor because I know how big of a fight that will be. And so people are telling me, yeah, Jake, fight this person. Jake, fight that person. Fight a real boxer. Guys, I'm gonna just stay tuned. I'm not afraid, and people will see my skill. I wanted in this Ben Askren fight to have a harder challenge so that I could show my skill, show all the things in my arsenal. But I didn't even get a chance to do that. I didn't even get warmed up, and I didn't even get hit. So people haven't seen anything that I'm capable of. And so that's why I was a little bit disappointed with it only going one round, is because if people would have saw how well prepared I was and all the different things I can do as a boxer, they would have shown more respect afterwards.
But Jake, so it's not easy to be in that position because you need to make big events. You want to get paid. You're a big star, and you want to make big events. So you have to find the right person who is a big enough name and star also to match with you. But you want it to be where the public believes both guys have a chance. When you say you want to continue to challenge yourself, do you have anything concrete in mind? Like, I'd like to be a top 10 ranked contender one day. I'd like to show that I could beat someone with an amateur background. Or is it more, no, I just want to continue to grow as a fighter and see where I go?
I think a little bit of both. I want to be undefeated, and I want to beat good guys. Like I said, I want Nate Diaz. I want Conor McGregor. Those are the guys I want to go up against. My brother's fighting against Floyd. So after that, I could fight against Floyd. Like, but I do want to do big events like you're saying. And I do need big name people. So who's it going to be? Who's the perfect opponent? And what a lot of people are forgetting is that you probably have never watched Floyd Mayweather's fourth fight or know who his opponent was. You've probably never watched Mike Tyson's fourth fight. You've probably never watched Anthony Joshua's fourth fight. And when you go on BoxRec and you Google the opponents and their records, at that point in their career, those opponents were all negative.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.